Hello students, I am Manju Chawla. Today I will tell you about a lesson from class 12 CBSE Board's Flamingo book. The name of the lesson is Lost Spring, which is written by Anees Jung. The lesson is divided into two excerpts. These excerpts are taken from the author's book Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. This chapter is divided into two parts, dear students, continuing the author's first-hand experience with poverty and traditions prevailing in some parts of India. The first part describes the plight of the rag pickers of Simapuri. The second part describes the miserable conditions of the bangle makers of Firozabad. But in this video, I will explain only first part, and the second part you can watch in my next video, dear students. Firstly, let's read about the author. Anees Jung. She is an Indian female author, journalist and columnist who writes for major newspapers in India and abroad. She was born in Rourkela and belongs to an aristocratic family in Hyderabad. She studied in India and the USA. Her most noted work, Unveiling India, which was published in 1987, was a detailed chronicle of the lives of women in India. Her book, This Lost Spring, Stolen Childhood, which was published in 2005, dear students, it focuses on children from deprived backgrounds. Now, if I tell you about the theme of the first part of the lesson, the theme of this chapter is the grinding poverty and the traditions which condemn poor children to a life of exploitation. The story depicts the plight of street children who are forced to do labor work early in life and who are denied the opportunity of schooling, dear students. Now let's have the summary to the first part of this lesson. The heading of the first part is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. The protagonist of the story is Sahib. Sahib is a rag picker who scrounges the garbage deposits to sustain his living. He and his family hail from Bangladesh. Storms washed away their fields and homes, reducing them to a state of abject poverty. That is why they came to this city looking for gold. He is unable to study due to the lack of schools in his neighborhood. The narrator, Anees Jung, jokingly makes a false promise to open a school for him, but is later left embarrassed. You know why? Because when he keeps approaching her inquiring about the school, she feels so much embarrassed because she is not able to accomplish, just to fulfill the promise which she had made to Sahib. Sahib's full name, Sahibe Alam, meaning Lord of Universe, dear students, is ironical because he, along with others like him, is outright downtrodden. The author wonders that if staying barefoot in them is just a tradition among the poor children or only an excuse to explain away a perpetual state of poverty. For this, the author recalls a story about a man from Udupi who, as a young son of a priest, used to pray for a pair of shoes. After 30 years, when the author visits the place, she finds that the situation has slightly improved because the son of the present priest wears shoes and goes to school. However, the author pines at the thought of the still barefooted rag pickers of her neighborhood. The author's acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers takes her to Simapuri. Simapuri, which is a place on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it metaphorically. It is home to 10,000 rag pickers, mostly Bangladeshi refugees who came here in 1971. These people live in mud structures with roofs made of tin and tarpaulin. The ration cards, which allow them to buy grains and the garbage is their means of survival. You know, dear students, for these rag pickers, Anis Jung says, once in a while the children manage to find coins and rupee notes in the garbage heaps. The author notices how such occasional findings help the children to cling on to hope and life. Sahib reveals one day his desire of playing tennis to the author. Even though he has managed to find a discarded pair of tennis shoes, the author knows the game itself is out of his reach. There is a hole in one of the shoes, but it does not bother him. For Sahib, who has walked his whole life barefoot, it is like a dream come true. You know, dear students? One morning, the author sees Sahib on his way to the milk booth, and that day he was carrying a canister also. He informs the author that he is paid 800 rupees and all his meal. But the author observes how, in the process of earning a few hundred rupees, Sahib has lost his freedom and carefree look. The canister seems heavier than the plastic bag. You know why? The bag was his, but the canister belongs to the owner of the tea stall. Sahib is no longer his own master. In a nutshell, I can say, dear students, that this part 1 of Lost Spring refers to those moments of childhood which should be full of happiness, growth, and carefree spirit, and which have been snatched from the children of Simapuri. The story sensitizes the people towards these poor children. It emphasizes the need to save the childhood of these poor children and provide them with their basic rights of a decent life and good education. Thank you, dear students, for listening me patiently. Thank you very much.